Hi, Fanbase Recapped. Today I'm going to recap a teen comedy film called The Duff from 2015. Hang on and sit tight. In the past decade, high school students are categorized under typical labels such as a jock, a geek, a princess, a basket case, or a bully. But in recent times these stereotypes evolved. Jocks now play video games, princesses are on antidepressants, and geeks control the media. Even with stereotypical evolution, there's some moment in high school where you're still criticized. In the start of the movie, we see Bianca, a short, slightly overweight, unattractive lady who's in the middle of her senior year, walking down the halls with her two gorgeous and attractive best friends, Jess, a kind, aspiring fashion designer, and Casey, a tough footballer and a computer hacker. The boys droll over her friends and fantasize about them, but nobody ever acknowledges her, referring to her as just Bianca. Jess and Casey are being invited for homecoming dance, but not Bianca. Next, Madison Morgan, a ruthless, mean queen bee, and self-proclaimed hottest girl in school, attracting not just straight, but gay guys too, and she invites Jess and Casey to a party in her place at dusk. She deliberately chooses not to invite Bianca, until Casey cuts her invitation card in half, thus solving the problem much to Madison's dismay, who thinks she's an outsider in terms of coolness. Moments later in class, the supervisor of the school newspaper and Bianca's teacher, Mr. Arthur, assigns her the task of writing an article for the school newspaper on the upcoming homecoming dance, and what social life means to her. She reluctantly agrees to it. Bianca worries about not having a date. Jess opted to help her with that. She comes up with a menu of guys in school, but Bianca only has a crush on a guy named Toby Tucker. But she's too scared to say more than 2 words to him. Meanwhile, we see Wesley, Bianca's old and childhood friend who annoys the shit out of her. Wesley is a man whore and the captain of the football team and Madison's part-time boyfriend. While having a conversation about her love for weird Japanese horror movies, Madison shows up and thinks Bianca is hitting on her ex-boyfriend, and in an attempt to make her jealous, she kisses him. At home, while having a hard time deciding what to wear to the party, Bianca's mom, Dottie, who became a successful author after her divorce. She was inspired by an episode of The Simpsons to create a book on the 5 stages of dealing with divorce. She, along with Jess and Casey, convince Bianca to go to the party. Despite her hesitance, she agrees only with hopes of talking to her guitar-playing crush, Toby. While at the party, Wesley runs into Bianca and asks her if Jess and Casey have mentioned him or are interested in him. Bianca says it's not her job to divulge and give him pervy informations on her best friends, but Wesley argues that it's kinda her job to, saying as their Duff, an acronym for designated ugly fat friend, and that a Duff is there to make their friends look better by comparison. They are approachable enough for someone to ask them about their hot friends, because no one is trying to get under their pants and Bianca fits this role. Bianca is surprised by the revelation. Feeling offended, she throws her drink in Wesley's face. She goes home alone feeling insecure and self-conscious. Throughout the rest of the day, the thought of being a Duff disturbs Bianca. And then she realizes that everyone only talks to her to get closer to her friends, Jess and Casey. She even notices all the other social cliques at school with their own Duffs. The next day in chemistry class, Wesley swoops in to apologize, but Bianca acts grumpy because of the event that happened the previous night. Wesley explains that Duff doesn't have to be fat and ugly, and the word shouldn't be taken literally. Either way, she still feels upset. After piecing a few occurrences together, she finally realized that Wesley was right all along, and that she's a Duff. This makes her spitefully unfriends her friends on social media, and decides she doesn't want to be friends with them at all. After school, Bianca notices that Wesley is failing chemistry and overhears Wesley's science teacher Mr. Fillmore telling Wesley that unless he passes the midterm, he is off the football team, which could cost him his football scholarship. She sees this as an opportunity for the two of them to help each other out, so she calls in a truce, and offers to tutor Wesley if he agrees to turn her image around so that she won't be a Duff. Wesley agrees, but only if Bianca asks him in her monster voice from when they were kids. She does. That Saturday at noon, Bianca meets up with Wesley at the local shopping mall where he first gets her to undress in a more flattering manner. As Bianca tries on different outfits, she embarrassingly plays around in her new clothes and pretending that a mannequin is Toby. From afar, Madison's minion, Caitlin, films this and sends the video to Madison, who's infuriated. Wesley then challenges Bianca to go around the mall and talk to a bunch of random guys for her to get over her fear of talking to Toby. The first attempt was a burst, with the guy who thinks it's a prank for a YouTube video. It goes awkwardly for a while until she meets a guy from a frozen yogurt stand, and they both had a leveled conversation. The next day, the video of Bianca at the mall goes viral throughout the school. Everybody points and laughs at her, forcing her to run into the bathroom stall and cry. Madison posts the video online to embarrass Bianca because she has become possessive of Wesley and she feels jealous of Bianca's relationship with him. Mr. Arthur and Principal Buchanan take notice of this and demand everybody turn in their cell phones to prevent further cyberbullying, which only turns everyone against Bianca even more, since they blame her for the loss of their gadgets. Jess and Casey also see the video, and Casey used her hacking skills to get rid of the video. But the phones are returned to the students when the constant ringing bothers the principal. Wesley comes over to Bianca's house to apologize for not stopping the video and for not defending her. He gives her a dress as a peace offering and tells her not to let the video get to her, and that she should approach Toby personally and admit how she feels. Wesley then promises to go out and continue studying. Next, Bianca approaches Toby at school after being previously humiliated by the video. She tells him she's into him, and he invites her to go over to his house to hang out. This excites her, as she's never really had a conversation with him. Bianca gets Wesley away from the constant arguing between his parents and takes him to her favorite spot in the nearby woods. She calls it her Think Rock, so he can tell her how to handle herself on a date. Wesley brings the requisite swagger but also a sense of humor and even a sweetness, which are unexpected. He keeps up quite nicely with Bianca, who's been at this since she was 3. He explains how the mood should be set and how Toby would act if he is trying to go for a kiss. Wesley ends up kissing Bianca, but they laugh it off as just practice. Once again, Caitlin is in the distance filming this with her video phone. The next day, Madison approaches Bianca and threatens to post the mall video again, because she doesn't like Bianca hanging around Wesley. Bianca and Toby have dinner at his house. She's frustrated because the distance between them is more than 3 feet apart, hence, no room for makeouts. So she made some adjustments to suit that of a restaurant, even moving the chair and turning off the lights. He puts out sushi and talks about how he got into writing songs. However, Bianca cannot stop thinking about Wesley. She goes to the bathroom and tries to convince herself that she's not into him. Outside, Toby plays an awkwardly written song for Bianca and then asks about Jess and Casey. Bianca slowly discovers that Toby is duffing her, and he admits spending time with her because he thought Jess and Casey are gonna be there. While leaving, she realized Toby bought the sushi from another place instead of cooking it like he made it seem. Bianca leaves in tears and leaves a message for Wesley. While looking for Wesley, to talk with him about the date, she walks by the woods and sees him and Madison sitting on her rock. Wesley comes over later to comfort Bianca, only to be turned away after she tells him what she saw. Feeling depressed and lonely, Bianca tries to write her article, and decides to make amends with Jess and Casey. The two of them, along with Dottie, convince Bianca to go with them to homecoming. Jess makes Bianca a dress using Bianca's flannel shirt and the dress from the mall. Later that evening, the 3 girls go to the homecoming dance, and everyone is stunned by Bianca's new look, including Wesley. At the dance, Bianca uses Wesley's advice to be upfront, and tells him that she likes him, but he regrettably informs her that he is back with Madison. While talking, Madison approaches the two of them and begins to hurl insults at Bianca. She threatens to post the video, but Bianca is no longer fazed by it. Bianca delivers her final speech to Madison, finally confronting her and proclaiming that everyone is a duff since there will always be someone prettier or more popular, and richer person than they are, and it won't bother her and that she doesn't care about labels the way Madison does. Additionally, Madison's bullying is just a reflection of her own insecurities about herself. The time came to announce the homecoming king and queen. Madison is crowned homecoming queen and she gladly accepts the crown, and when Wesley is crowned king, he hesitates before rejecting the title, goes over to kiss Bianca. Everyone is in awe. They leave the hall to go hook up in the computer room. Bianca writes her article on being a duff, which went viral amongst the students, and everyone commented with their own duff stories. Wesley passed science and got in Ohio State in the fall, and Bianca into Northwestern. She and Wesley become a couple in the end, and she becomes a more confident person that doesn't let a label define her. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.